Do you take Michael George Spencer? And do you take Emily Ann Johns? Do you promise to love, in sickness and in health? I do. I do. Emily tried to concentrate on the words, to really feel their meaning. She ignored the tight knot in her stomach, and she promised forever. When it was time for Michael to kiss her, she lifted her head to look at him, and remembered seeing him for the first time. And she remembered how she had said yes, without pausing to think, when he had asked her to have dinner with him. And she felt amazed that his asking and her saying yes, such small things, had led them to this. After the ceremony, while the guests were drinking wine and catching up, Emily went outside to get some air and to find her sister, away from the whirlwind of family and joy. Sometimes when happiness was concentrated like that, she found it almost frightening. "Can I have a cigarette?" Emily asked. She saw Josephine try to hide her surprise as she took 2 cigarettes from her bag, lit both, and handed one to Emily. It was something they'd done together years before, and Emily felt young and light as they repeated it. "So it's done," Josephine said. And then she started to say something else, but stopped abruptly and lowered her head. "What?" Emily touched her sister's arm, silently giving her permission to go on. "I just can't believe Mum missed it." Emily shrugged. "It doesn't matter now." They both knew that wasn't true. But what Emily didn't say was that the upside, for her, of their mother's absence, was that it had drawn her and Josephine even closer. She wasn't sure they would have come to rely on one another quite so much if Alice had stayed in London. And now, Emily was married, and this beginning for her and Michael was an ending of sorts for her and Josephine. They walked back inside, arm in arm, and then there was Michael in front of them. He reached for Emily's hand and turned to Josephine. "Can I take her?" "She's all yours." It felt real, then, for Emily. More real than being pronounced man and wife, or the kiss, or the ring on the finger. Finally, after false starts and missed chances and long years, Michael was hers, and she was his. They made their way to the hotel's restaurant, with its slightly shabby white-painted furniture and enormous windows. And there was something about all that light and the looks on the faces of the people she loved that made Emily catch her breath. She gripped Michael's hand a little tighter as they made their way to the front of the room. As she took her seat, Michael's brother leaned across the table and touched Emily's hand. "Welcome to the family," he said. His smile was warm, genuine. Emily thought about what he'd said as the waiters darted between the tightly packed tables, serving the first course. Thought about belonging to a new family. She'd never known her father, and had lost her mother to a new man and a new life in Australia a handful of years earlier. So, for a time, there had only been her and Josephine. And Michael, of course. But Michael still had both parents and a brother and his brother's wife. A complete set that Emily was now, somehow, a part of. They were near strangers to her, and yet they had been welcoming, accepting. Would they become important to her, in time? Not a replacement for her own parents, but something significant.